Welcome everybody. Today I'm sitting in the Digital Hub of Hamburg, and this hub is focused towards logistics. I'm sitting with Johannes, who is the managing director of this hub. I will let Johannes take over and tell a bit more about what this hub is about, when it came to life, and a bit more in detail about these things. Welcome Johannes, tell us something about yourself and something about the hub.
Thank you very much. Yeah, good morning everybody. My name is Johannes Berg. I'm not from South Africa, as my name might suggest. I'm from Hamburg, born and raised, but I lived abroad for 15 years in the Benelux countries and in South America. And before running the Digital Hub Logistics, I was in research and innovation for NXP Semiconductors, so in the semiconductor industry. And I came to the Digital Hub because this is one out of 12 hubs founded or inspired by the Federal Ministry of Economic Affairs 3 years ago, where our minister, the German Minister for Economic Affairs, said, hey, we've just been to Silicon Valley, we need something similar in Germany. We not only have one place, we will have 12 centers of digital excellence, and Hamburg became the center for logistics, or the digital center for logistics. And we've been running this show now for about 1.5 years, and receive a growing number of startups and partners, and it's a lot of fun.
Did it happen all of a sudden, or was it a slow growth? So for example, it was decided for 4 hubs, then 5, then 6, and so on, or was it already set on 12?
Now the thing was that the federal ministry, they don't finance the hubs, they initiated the idea, they gave the D-Hub network idea, and everybody could apply, or every city could apply, every region, and there were 12 applications, so 12 hubs started.
Okay.
Some are further in their development than others. And I think we are amongst the ones who are pretty maturely developed in terms of location, physical space. We now need to work on the projects that we actually bring to life here.
Interesting. So it's any city can apply, or is it already closed now? We are the 12 hubs.
I think it's closed.
Okay.
There are 12 cities now. So Munich has the automotive cluster, Stuttgart has future industry. Then we have a little city called Ludwigshafen, which you in India may not know, but which is pretty famous in Germany because BASF, the big chemical company, and SAP are located close to that with their headquarters. We have finance in Frankfurt, IoT in Berlin, and logistics in Hamburg. And then also a twin or a brother hub for logistics in the city of Dortmund, because Dortmund is really a cluster for inner country logistics, and we strongly focus on maritime here.
Johannes, what kind of advantages do the startups have if they are under the Digital Hub Hamburg, for example?
Well, I think similar to the situation in India, you have lots of poppies coming out every week, every month with new co-working spaces, new incubators, new accelerator programs for startups. So the competition is very fierce. What we do in Hamburg and all other hubs is that we really focus on one specific industry, and within that industry clearly define segments. So our port of call is logistics. That's a unique selling point also for startups. We have one of the most proliferated logistical regions in Germany with Hamburg, and the largest logistical company network in Northern Europe, with 550 companies in our back, so to say. And we have a very strong connection to the city of Hamburg, to the governing body. And that makes it unique for the startups also, because they can come here, and if they have an idea, a product or a service that is within the logistics industry, they have very easy touch points to companies, hence to future clients.
Okay.
And that makes it good for startups to come here. On top of that, if I may add, if you are a startup and if you're part of the D-Hub network, you get this little red card. It's not a credit card. It's a Digital Hub Initiative startup card. And with that card, you can basically access all 11 other hubs. You can not only work here, you can call our colleagues in Munich and say, I have a meeting in Munich next week, can I have a desk for 2 days? That's something that I haven't seen, at least in Germany, with any other initiative.
Does Digital Hub also offer some kind of counseling or something? For example, in my university in TUHH, we have the startup doc. And in startup doc, if somebody has some kind of idea or something, you go to them. Like that's how I started my own business, and I went to them and I asked them, what next steps do I take? How can I make a business plan and so on? So like they supported you there. But is there also like some form of counseling which is offered by Digital Hub in Hamburg?
The network itself and the physical space of the Digital Hub is the first step of counseling, I would say, because if you come here as a startup, you meet a variety of other startups that have experienced probably the same problems that you experience with your startup, and that can help you in terms of access for funding, for financial resources. They can help you with regard to resources such as software engineering or product marketing. And we give the startups a constantly reoccurring calendar of events. We have a weekly so-called Hub Up, where every startup, company, individual can pitch an idea, problem or solution, and where within the community we then discuss, offer help, suggestions, etc. Where every month on an evening basis we have a so-called Meet Hub, where to dedicated logistical or digital topics a startup can pitch, can give a speech, can give an impulse on something. And the third thing of offering for the startups is a so-called Startup Radar matchmaking event, where we bring together curated startups with logistical industry experts and companies and conduct the matchmaking, so to say. So you can hear it's all about the networking, it's all about facilitating the exchange of ideas and experiences. In Hamburg, we also have the Next Logistics Accelerator, which is then a good point of entry for startups who look for more precise counseling on certain aspects, where they undergo a 6-month really full throttle excellent program. Once they've done that, they're more than welcome to come back to the hub. Is it a plan in the future to make it a bit more attractive towards students, or like to initiate the startup culture in Germany? Yes, we are actually within the Hamburg Hub. We are thinking about one precise project that is going to commence early next year, mid-next year, where I also invite everybody from India to have a look at and maybe join. We want to start a so-called innovation doc, where companies work together on predefined topics, such as digital freeport or shipping and environment, shipping and sustainability. And where companies on the one hand can bring in a 3-month part-time program own employees to develop prototypes, minimum viable products, where a company can also say, I'm giving out a scholarship on my topic, on my company. And we've already talked with some institutions here in Hamburg, with some incubators and programs in Dubai, Singapore, Israel and Norway, where we are looking for interested, talented young people to join that pack and maybe become a future startup leader of an incorporated startup of whatever company. That's super interesting to know, because I see that in the university slowly, because for example TU Hamburg has been really innovative in that sense that they want to push students in as many startup building as they can. And for example, the master thesis and so on that we have, you can also do it with some kind of startups if you're in the management side, which I really liked. So if students are also inculcated in the Digital Hub initiative, I think that is also going to be a very good foundation stone for the future, of course, startup founders and so on.
Now, Johannes, how can somebody apply for the space or for the initiative?
To apply for the Digital Hub initiative is pretty easy in that sense. If you're a startup with a focus on one of these 12 industries or technologies, you can simply, let's say, come to me here in Hamburg, ring me up, send me an email and say, hey, we have an interesting logistics idea and we want to become part of your co-working space and your hub. And then we mostly meet with all digital tools. It's still a good idea to meet in person every now and then, as we meet here today. And then a startup can, in Hamburg, pay 250 euros per month, get one working space, everything included, and have a relatively easy application process. We are still in the phase where we say the more the merrier, as long as you have a precise logistics topic that you're working on. And I honestly don't know how the other 11 hubs handle that process. For us, it's always an open door, and whenever somebody is interested, simply send me a mail or ring me up.
Does the government also comes inside and plays a role, or like funds the startups in some ways, or that's not really there?
Tricky to answer, because we have each region, each federal state in Germany also has dedicated federal state level funding programs, initiatives, etc. As I said earlier, the D-Hub initiative is not financed in any way by the federal government. But, for example, the state of Hamburg, the government of Hamburg said we are going to support the first 2 years of the Digital Hub. I know that the colleagues in Saxony receive some public grants that they can use to start up their initiative. But direct funding in terms of the government coming in here and handing out money, unfortunately, that's not the case. What they do is, and we have a very tight and good relationship with our Hamburg ministry. They're here every Tuesday. They hear and look around. What are your pain points? Where can be the city of help? And they bring in initiatives where we can then apply, where we can pitch our ideas, and that's already pretty good, I have to say.
What are the ideas of expansion, Johannes, for the Digital Hub in Hamburg at least?
Yeah, our idea is the following. I mean, you've probably seen on the video the nice office floor that we have at the moment, and since I'm the managing director, since September we've welcomed a number of new startups from all over the place, not only Germany, Europe, but some guys from Japan now actually moved in. So the space is getting very crowded. On the other hand, what I said earlier, there are lots of initiatives popping up in Hamburg that have at the moment nothing to do with the D-Hub network. They're the maritime boys and girls who start up their own accelerator programs and centers. And our vision for not for the next year, but for the year after that, is to create one big lighthouse in Hamburg where the Digital Hub is, so to say, the bracelet across or on the left and right of that lighthouse, where we bring everybody together. All logistical segments can get one floor, intralogistics, city logistics, very interesting with the upcoming ITS World Congress in Hamburg, where the maritime people can play their own game on one floor, but where we create the atmosphere of being one, of having one point in Hamburg where we aggregate everything. And that's a tough cookie to swallow there or to work on, but that's our medium-term expansion plan.
Okay. And what kind of challenges do you see in that?
I see the challenge that we bought 15 startups from this hub to Dubai and to Singapore 3 weeks ago, and we've experienced a different mindset there. They run their similar initiatives like the D-Hub initiative with a lot longer time horizon, with a more long-term agenda. Many people in Germany and Europe haven't realized yet It's that the whole startup scene and the whole idea of bringing new digital business models and concepts to life in logistics, it's a worldwide race, and it's a very fast race. And if we don't act very fast, we'll fall behind. And that's a challenge that we also have to work on in terms of telling that to our German colleagues and European friends to really put more pressure on the tank.
That was really interesting to know, Johannes. Thanks a lot for the information. Is there something that you would absolutely like to add in the video?
Yeah, I think the only thing that I can say, what already surfaced, is that we want to become not only a Hamburg, German, European, but international hub. And I've been to India myself a few years ago and traveled the country, really liked it. And I can only say, whenever you have a logistics idea or you run your startup somewhere in India and you think, hey, this Digital Hub Logistics and Hamburg in particular is interesting, just send me a mail and we see what we can do together, how we can build a bridge between India and Germany in that sense.
Well, that's really nice to know, Johannes. All of the details of the Digital Hub of Hamburg I'm going to put in the description if you just want to see what kind of work is going on, what kind of startups is there, and so on. All of that information is going to be in the description, so just take a look. Feel free to go to the website and check things out. Otherwise, thanks a lot for watching the video. Thanks a lot for your audience and patience. Bye-bye.
Bye.